What is up, my dudes? I've been a fan of many K-pop commenters and YouTube channels lately, and I wanted to make one of my own to share my thoughts and love of K-pop with y'all. For my first video, I wanted to follow on the trend of K-pop hard to swallow pills, which was inspired by Rosé Trash on YouTube. These are just my thoughts on what the K-pop community needs to hear and understand. Okay, let's get on with the video.
Number 1. There's no way to stan a group without the least bit of interaction with the fandom. Of course, you can like or love a group without being in the fandom, but in my experience, I don't feel like I have stanned a group unless I am decently in the know about them. Through following fan accounts on Instagram or Twitter, they update me on what groups are doing currently, and when the group has upcoming comebacks or tour. Talking and seeing other people excited about them in the fandom makes me feel more connected to that group. When someone's experience with a fandom is mostly toxic and unfriendly, it makes you subconsciously feel less connected to a group. In that sense, it's valid if someone says they can't fully stan a group because of their fandom. Number 2. You don't know everything about an idol or their relationship with the other members of their group. This one is mainly targeted at people who say that a certain member is bad just because they may say something mean as a joke to other members, or those who have resting bitch face at some moments which makes them seem uninterested or rude. To me, there is a difference between someone with RBF and someone who generally has a bad attitude, and in most cases chances are the idol is either tired or naturally looks that way. We don't know anything about what an idol may be going through personally and what they are struggling with behind the scenes, so we don't have a right to call people out and hate on them unless they have given us a clear reason to. Jennie and Yeri are two examples of these idols. Speaking of Yeri, she ties well to my point about their relationship with their members. Yeri is recently getting lots of hate around rumors of her being rude to her older members just by making light jokes at them in the moment. An idol's relationship with their members isn't something for us to pick apart and examine just from a couple interactions in a V-Live. Red Velvet especially have a close bond with each other, and that doesn't have to be made apparent and perfect for netizens all the time. Number 3. It really doesn't matter whether an idol is well-rounded or not. I've seen a lot of unpopular opinion videos where they pinpoint different idols as being quote-unquote well-rounded. To a certain extent, I can understand that for an idol, being good or well-practiced at singing, dancing, performance, and variety is important in their job, but honestly a lot of y'all are just naming all your faves well-rounded when they really aren't, and that's okay. In K-pop and in groups especially, companies place people in a group to bring a certain trait, whether it is vocals, dance, personality, or maybe they bring a certain aura to the group that enhances them or their concept. Nowadays, it's not so important for an idol to be good at everything rather than having something about them that sticks out to the public. Idols don't have to be well-rounded to be good at their job. Number 4. Korea is not the perfect country or place in the world. For some fans, I've seen that K-pop can make someone feel better toward Korea than other Asian countries, and put it on a pedestal as the most perfect place with no problems. People like to idolize the country and its culture, and of course, I'm not saying that Korea isn't a good country, and it has a rich history and culture, but it's important to remember that like any other country or culture, Korea has its problems. There are social issues happening that also affects idols, such as the extreme importance on outward appearance and good-looking bodies, and the belittlement of mental health. Some borderline Korea boos that idolize everything about Korea, and Koreans don't get that. Doing this takes away from the issues that the country as a whole is working on, and how these issues affect the idols they stan. Number 5. K-pop will always change. This one is simple, but so many of us can't wrap this around our heads. The whole idea of K-pop is to come up with unique trends and showcase new people frequently, and the trends that existed in the previous generations are getting replaced with new and unique concepts and groups. Some people want to see the same concepts and same people over and over again, but guess what, ladies? Music and concepts in K-pop are always developing, and it's likely that the third generation of groups and concepts are fading into the fourth generation. Of course, it's sad when a group that has been around for a while starts to fall back in popularity and they start to fade, but it's what is bound to happen in a group after a while. The fourth generation is appearing to have more of a teen crush theme with some funky sounds, and groups like ITZY, Everglow, TXT and Purple Beck make me excited for what this generation has to offer. Lastly, number 6, using K-pop to respond to tragic events is beyond shallow and disrespectful. This one will be a bit ranty. As many of you know, this past weekend, Cameron Boyce from Jessie and Descendants had sadly passed away. When the news broke out on Twitter, however, I saw comments like, if Cameron stan Luna, maybe he wouldn't be dead, or what if he had stan BTS? I honestly don't even know how to respond other than saying that these people are disgusting. The amount of disrespect and immaturity people have to say these things on not only posts about Cameron, but on various news about devastating subjects on social media, it shows that you don't really have any empathy for the situations you commented under, and it really isn't a flex to show that you're a K-pop stan just to gain attention. This is why people who are not into K-pop hate us so much. This kind of behavior further ruins the K-pop community's reputation. I know that most of us in the fandom aren't the ones doing this, but for those of you who are, take some time to figure out what you have to fix within yourself, and know that you're not edgy or a comedian for making these jokes, but rather you are someone who needs help. Okay guys, that was it for my K-pop hard to swallow pills. I really want to grow this channel and post more videos on here, so if you want to see more of my content, like and subscribe. I have some ideas for what videos I want to create next, so stay tuned for those. Also, sorry for the robot voice, I am currently on vacation and can't record properly, but I'll voice record for my future videos. See you later.